I forgot what I say. I completely blanked on the introduction and I've just said it like 7 times in a row.
Life lessons foretold, stay golden. Girls and boys, stay golden.
If there was the TikTok version, right? It would be like, hey babes, it's me, Courtney, and your turn to stay golden, golden grade. Is this how I do it? Today we're going to be grading 5 episodes. Rose Fights Back, The Impotence of Being Ernest, Beauty and the Beast, Son-in-Law Dearest, End of the Curse. I hope you guys can follow that dance at home. It's gonna be 3 cheesecakes. Let's get grading. Thank you. Number 105 on our list is Rose Fights Back, Season 5, Episode 4. Charlie's pension is being willed out of existence. She's got to go look for a job.
I knew it'd be rough looking for a job, but not this rough.
You didn't find anything?
Oh, I found one job I wanted. I would have been perfect for it. But they told me I was too old.
By the way, first appearance of...
I am Enrique Mas.
Who's also Kid Pepe. Age discrimination is real, and particularly in the workplace. The tackling of this real world issue in this episode, I appreciate. I always do in the Golden Girls. Rose makes a very important speech.
You know, every morning when I leave the house, I see this bag lady going through the garbage over on 135th Street. She has everything she owns piled in one of those old shopping carts. Well, the other day, for the first time, I noticed she's about our age. Oh, you know, you always feel sorry for someone like that. But I wondered, what did she do to get herself into a fix like that? I thought, well, she must be lazy. Or she must be pretty stupid to let something like this happen to her. But the truth is, she's me. God, what am I gonna do?
I'm 35. I've got gray hairs. I was once 15 and now I'm 35 and I will one day be 45. And that's a hard kind of existential concept to accept. Do you guys have that feeling? It's like, oh, people age, just not me.
Boy, life sure has a way of throwing you curveballs. When I was younger, I never would have imagined that I'd be worrying about money at this stage of my life.
I'm putting money into an IRA in retirement, and like I know that's gonna happen, but I kind of don't think it's gonna happen to me. It makes me think about, you know, job interviews. I was thinking about one job interview though I had, a man interviewing me, and I'd been there quite some time already. At the end of the interview, he said to me, he goes, oh, you know, just for fun, I'd love to ask this question. You know, what 3 people would you love to have dinner with, you know, dead or alive? I looked at him and I just said no. He was like, oh, and I was like, no, I'm not playing that game. I did get the job. I did not like that colleague. But then again, you knew that already, didn't you? The other thing that I wanted to mention that I love about this episode is the Golden Girls talk about shaving. It did make me think of the first time that I tried to shave. We never had a, you know, you're a woman now and hair grows on your body, that because you're a woman, you have to shave off because society says so. I took the razor and I pressed so hard to my skin that I not only pulled off hair, I peeled like a summer squash, the top layer of my skin with this razor. Good for the Golden Girls talking about shaving, because I think women, we have some horror stories about like first times, and that I definitely.
Can you lend me $20?
Ma, this is the second time this week that you've come to me for money. Now, what happened to your allowance?
Something's come up. A medical emergency. Can I have the money?
What medical... Ma, what's wrong?
I think I'm pregnant.
Number 104 on our list is The Impotence of Being Ernest, Season 4, Episode 13. Square away the B-plot. Sophia gets a black feather. There's a vendetta. There's a Sicily. There's a scheming. I enjoy when we kind of have like these like quirky, like, is Sophia actually have to do something? Is there like a mobster, a vendetta, something secret coming after her? Storylines. Could have been its own plot, but I think it just, they needed something to do while we really deal with the A-plot, which is,
I was hoping that it might help me get over my problem.
What problem?
Well, it's not easy for a man to say, Rose. I'm impotent.
I see.
again, like this is like a thing that happens. It's real. It doesn't have to be any particular age associated with what Ernie is dealing with. What I like about the episode is Rose's compassion. She doesn't make fun of him. She doesn't put him down. She doesn't judge him. She doesn't really pressure him. She accepts it. And that's really nice, right? Because, there's a vulnerability in saying, like, I have a issue with being able to perform. What are they going to say? Are they going to leave me? Are they going to judge me? And Rose doesn't, because of course she doesn't. An example of how you should treat somebody when they're experiencing that vulnerability. This episode has classic moment.
I think you're a kind, generous, caring man. As far as this physical side goes, we just take things slow. And if it turns out that we can't be anything more than just good friends, well, that's good enough for me.
I'm a lucky man to have found someone like you.
I feel the same way. If you ask me, people rely too much on sex in relationships anyway.
You're right. I mean, what is sex, after all?
Two clunky old bodies thrashing around against each other. Like animals.
You get all sweaty and flushed.
Hair gets mussed.
You lose your breath.
You lose your earring.
Your mouth waters.
Your nose runs.
Your heart races.
Your blood races.
Rose.
Say it, Ernie.
It's time, Rose.
Check, please.
We are not Team Ernie, though, at the end, because once Rose and Ernie do consummate their relationship, Ernie decides to go back to his ex. She sees you through this, and then you're like, oh gosh, I gotta try and go make it work with my ex because, like, I'm fixed. Thank you so much for your help. Okay? No! That's terrible, Ernie. That's not fair and not right, and I don't like you for it.
Impotent? Are you sure?
Oh, Blanche, what would you have done? Asked him to prove it?
Number 103 on our list is Son-in-Law Dearest, Season 2, Episode 23. Raise your hand if you hate Dennis. Why is it that Dorothy thinks that Kate is pregnant? Whenever somebody that is female has news, I do feel like the standard, oh, she must be pregnant, is the response that people give. And I kind of hate that. Like, why can't it be something else? Like, oh, she grew an 11th toe. Courtney has big news. Oh, what could it be? She's given up ketchup. What? That would be big news for me. Love this joke.
Oh, Charlie was a wonderful man, but he could squeeze a nickel till the buffalo pooped. Boy, I'll tell you, there's something to the power of suggestion. Excuse me.
How old is Kate? It's just like a variable. Like, it depends on the position of the sun, how many groundhogs are underneath a certain tree at a latitude of 47, longitude of 9. Stan is a hypocrite.
What kind of a man has so little respect for the institution of marriage that he can cheat on a wonderful woman and jump into bed with the first available bimbo who comes along?
But enough about you, Stan.
Feels like a deep cut to me, and when rewatching this episode, I'm so excited that I caught it.
How are you feeling, kitten?
Dorothy is always pussycat. And I like this kind of idea that, like, oh, her granddaughter has to be some kind of a feline, and because she's like the baby of the family, she's a kitten. Also like this joke.
Listen, Rose, no offense, but I find that story a little hard to believe. You don't even like to talk about sex.
Well, it's been my experience that people who talk about it a lot don't do it very often.
Dorothy's monumental, memorable, important, epic speech.
Yesterday, Kate came to me crying. She was more hurt than I had ever seen her before.
Oh, Dorothy,
Please, I want you to understand what that does to a parent. Seeing your child hurt is worse than any pain you can possibly feel yourself. When they're little, you protect them from the bullies on the playground, and later you suffer with them through acne and puppy love.
And the first date and the first time alone in a car, finally they meet someone who will love them and take care of them, and they don't need you anymore. You're not too thrilled about that, but you get used to it.
And then something happens and you find out that there's still bullies on the playground. And all the old instincts come back. And that's what happened to me yesterday. I know you and Kate have made up, but I still have the same feelings. Do you understand?
Yes, I do. I did a very stupid thing, and it can't be undone. But I'm going to do everything I can to make it up to Kate. I love her. And I promise you that nothing like this will ever happen again.
Good. Because if it does, I will break every bone in your hand.
And I get why Dorothy doesn't want Kate to take Dennis back. It is very difficult to see somebody be hurt by their partner and then make the choice to accept and reintegrate that person into their life. You do have to accept their choice. It might not be the choice that I would make for myself, but it is the choice that somebody is allowed to make for any reason they want, and they do not have to justify it to you or to me. Number 102 on our list is Beauty and the Beast, Season 7, Episode 3.
I found something Melissa and I can do together. I have entered her in the Little Miss Miami pageant, and we're a cinch to win, aren't we?
Of course, the granddaughter's not going to like the pageant.
Brush off the clouds and cheer up. Go down the stairs. Here's where you move your feet. Move. Take off the gloomy mask of tragedy. It's not just she was so good at home. You look so good that you'll be glad.
I do enjoy that Blanche ends up going out there and kind of like doing the routine herself. Blanche is self-centered. She's all about looks. She doesn't really know how to connect to children. She's not a great grandmother. The real mystery of the episode for me is Blanche's granddaughter's staying with him in the house, right? I'm pretty sure. I mean, she makes reference to the fact that she's visiting for the week. Blanche, Dorothy, and Rose are having a conversation.
What the hell goes on at night in this house?
If the granddaughter's staying with them, where was she when Blanche had her gentleman caller over? This is really the thing that I need answered for this episode. In the comments below, I'd love to know where you think A, the granddaughter is, or B, what did Blanche do? But it sounds like to me, she went out on a date and then brought a man home, and her granddaughter was nowhere to be found in between. I find it very peculiar. The real classic part of this episode, which is why it's in the 102 spot, is the Nurse Defarge.
Until she can walk again, I'm staying put.
You're a good daughter. Take a lesson, pussycat.
You're pussycat too?
I am Pussycat 1. You are Pussycat 2.
Sophia, of course, is scheming. She's hamming it up. And obviously, Sophia has not been injured the entire time she's in the wheelchair.
Oh, please, call me Ma.
Ma?
Not you.
On character with her, right? Like milking the last ounce of whatever she can get out of something. Number 101 on our list is End of the Curse, Season 2, Episode 1. As far as season openers go, I think it's a very strong season opener. I love Rose's sweater. Objects inside of this garage are just like, no. I don't understand these. They don't belong to these women. This garage has 3 bicycles. Who's riding these bicycles? Why are we not seeing that chair more often? It is glorious. How do they decide to breed minks? Who's the one that's like, minks, that's the way that we're gonna make extra money here? I don't think it's Sophia. She doesn't seem super involved in it. It does seem mostly to be Rose and Dorothy. This joke.
Well, she could be in a coma. Put a man within 5 miles, she'd roll over and shave her legs.
I love this. I love this idea in the plot line.
Blanche, what is wrong?
I'm eating.
Eating is good.
And I'm nauseated. I'm so nauseated.
Then stop eating.
How did this happen to me? How?
What, Blanche?
Oh, my God.
Blanche, please tell us what's wrong.
We're your friends, honey, your family. Now, nothing so terrible that we wouldn't understand. You can tell us, what is it?
I'm pregnant.
Also, love this lie about her age.
Do you realize I'll be 65 years old when this child graduates high school?
Try 70.
Turns out, no, she's actually just going through menopause. Yeah, that makes sense. And I like that the Golden Girls tackle this issue.
I am not dying, Rose, but I might as well be. It's menopause. Well, I wish I could die, because as far as I'm concerned, this is the end of my life.
It's real. It's not something to be ashamed of. It's not something to hide. It's something that women have to go through.
Premenstrual syndrome, Rose. You mean you never got crazy once a month?
No.
Boy, I did. I would cry, scream, carry on, put on 10 pounds of water, and, well, menopause put an end to that. I loved it.
I don't see how you could love it.
Because I didn't see it as having anything to do with my sexuality. I am exactly the same person I was.
Unfortunately.
Thank you.
You're just like an old lady spinster with a cobweb cooch, you know what I'm saying? And the Golden Girls, they're fighting against that because we're more than that. And if anything, my cooch is not a cobweb. It's corn on the cob because it's popping. I came up with that just now. Also, I just pictured like popcorn, pew, 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 because I'm so hot that I'm making popcorn. I don't know if that's gonna make the cut, but it might. As always, thank you for watching. I hope I see some of your answers in the comments below. Yeah, thank you so much, and thank you for subscribing, being a member of the community, and enjoying the Golden Girls. As always, as we began this Golden Grades, we shall end this at Golden Grades. It'd be like, thank you for watching. Stay golden.